Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Dark Horse Season 2, Episode 2, and the name of this episode is Bearing Rein. This was a good episode, but before I get started, let me give a big congratulations to Terrell A. Ross, who plays Clint. He just graduated from college. More power to you, brother. Keep on winning, and the sky's the limit, my man. So definitely want to send a special shout out to him, and I'm so glad to see him back in the role as Clint, the infamous boogeyman of the whole, Triangle series. So I am so here for Clint because, as I mentioned as I mentioned in my previous review of Dark Horse episode 1, the last time we saw Clint, him and Neil were in that alley. Clint was trying to take some ass, and Neil decided to play a game of stab him up cunt, and he stabbed up Clint and left him there for dead. So now the episode opens up. He's in a therapy session, and I think I'm gonna talk about the therapy session, in total, because that therapy session was deep, and a lot was revealed as to why Clint is the way he is, and what has shaped him to be the type of person that he's been. And we now realize it stems from his childhood. But he talks about the moment where, he talks about the day that he gets stabbed. He was saying that, look, I was trying to have me some fun, and then the next thing I know, I get stabbed. Well, yeah, you was trying to have fun and you was trying to take it, boo-boo. I mean, yeah, Neil had a fat ass, but boo-boo, Neil just got ass for... Neil got ass, but at the end of the day, it ain't, Neil's ass ain't a depository, obviously, because he fought back. And he fought back when he pulled that knife out and he shanked your ass. So he said that, yeah, here it was, I was trying to have fun. Next thing I know, I got stabbed, and then I'm bleeding out. And while I was bleeding out, it just started to register in my mind that nobody loves me. Now, he says that, yeah, I kind of use love as a pawn, to get what I want. But at the end of the day, nobody loves me. And he also talks about that, he says that, look, vengeance is my life. I'm a fighter, and I play a game for tit for tat. You do something to me, I'm going to do something to you. And that's the game I play. Then he starts talking about that when he was a child, he was raped by his grandfather. And he said that it was my fault. And I'm like, sweetie, it's not your fault. It's you can't control what a grown man does to a kid. So it's not your fault. But then again, I think he was saying it was his fault because he said that I could have told my grandmother and I didn't. And my grandmother was the only person in my life who loved me. The only person who loved me, and she would have protected me. But I never told her. And I was like, wow. So that explains why he has this tit for tat way about him. Because he was violated as a child, and for him to no longer, and anybody who does anything to him, it triggers that situation back where he was violated by his grandfather. Any type of violation, doesn't have to be sexual, but what his grandfather did to him was an ultimate violation of his person and of his psyche and of his well-being. So now when anybody fucks with him, his mission is to get them back, because he was never able to get back the grandfather that wronged him. So I thought that was pretty deep. And then he starts talking about Fallon, his ex-wife, and he says, like, look, my ex-wife, she's a fucking bitch. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved her. I did love her. But she's a fucking bitch. And at one point, I used to find it very sexy that she was a bitch. But then, she was a bitch all the time. She always talked at me, she always talked down to me, and she always made me feel that she had to step down to be with me. So, how do you react to that? Well, started fucking some of her friends, start fucking some of her associates on the job. But the one thing that really got her was when I started fucking her best friend. And they both were like sisters. Again, you do something to me, I do something to you. I was like, whoa, that is some cruel shit. But then again, he had a point though, because we know Valen always did that shit with him. Like, she always belittled his ass. She always put him down. She always talked at him sideways and shit. So now we realize that was his motive of going after Eve. And I'm like, yo, that shit was crazy. Because he's like, oh, because you did me wrong, I'ma fucking get you back in the worst way. I'ma fuck your best friend. And then on top of it, he was giving her money and was giving Ashton money out of her account. So he got Valen back a hell of a lot, which was crazy as hell. So then he also, because we see, also in this session, he talks about Kiko. And he was saying, why is my son a he bitch? A fucking tranny, really? You know, why would you choose a lonely gay life? Nobody chooses that life. So he has his own assumptions of trans. And I'm like, Clint, you're fucking gay yourself. You know, and yet you can't accept your child being trans? Like, it's crazy. But then again, we know that to be an issue, you know, within the LGBTQ. Like, everybody ain't always on the same page. It's like they always put the T at the bottom of the barrel. But then again, I'm thinking Clint may need to see some. Clint may need to watch Pose on FX, you know, so he can, you know, get acclimated to how fabulous the trans community really is, and how the trans are literally the frontliners as to why we have our rights as gay men and women today. I mean, they were in the front. I mean, if you think about, you know, Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, who were leading the fight and were literally fighting police at Stonewall. I mean, trans are always number one in my book. So I love everybody. So here it is. He just can't accept the fact that Keith is now Kiko, and he just can't accept Kiko for who she is, and it's sad. And then he's saying that Tammy did this to spite me. She encouraged it. She damn near put him in high heels, and all because she wanted to poison me. She even wanted to poison my family against me. That damn Tammy. So I'm like, yo. But then again, Clint, you kind of did the same thing to her that you did to Fallon. You fucked her friends, including one of her male acquaintances. So I'm like, Clint, she may have wanted to fuck you up. I mean, after doing all that shit, and then he said that I told her I didn't want no fucking kid. I didn't want no children. So, pretty much, if that's how you felt that you didn't want a kid, you end up getting a kid, and yet, the child, you don't want to accept it because it didn't come out the way you wanted it to come out. And the shit was just crazy. So I'm like, you know, that one, it's because he doesn't love himself, and he can't accept Kiko because Kiko loves herself. She is authentic with who she is. She's not putting on a mask for anybody, and we know that Clint will put on any mask that he needs to get what he wants. He's the infamous boogeyman. He knows when to come out into the light, and then he knows when to go in the dark and do his shit. And that's what we've seen of Clint, you know, from day one. So we definitely see that that's probably one of the main reasons why he can't accept his daughter, because he can't accept himself. And he definitely talks about this because we see a month before he had the therapy session, we see that he found an ally. And it's Sean. Of all people, Sean is the one that's helping to nurse him back to health. and the one that's letting him stay with him at his aunt's house, because Clint has nobody. And here it is, Sean's the one that's helping him out and everything. You know, they having this conversation. He's still being somewhat evasive with Sean, not telling them everything. But then he's saying, but then the funny thing about it, you can definitely tell there's a change in their relationship. Because we remember the first time we saw them interacting when he was dicking Sean down. When he was like, you know, literally power fucking him. It was a pimp and hoe relationship. Where, because we remember how he punked him in that same room where he was like, "You're gonna suck daddy's dick." Like, and literally gagged the fuck out of him. So we saw from the last time, yeah, Sean hated Clint. But then again, he said that the reason why he decided to help him was because he saw it's that good thing inside of Sean, where he says, "I saw you helpless. You know, I saw you needy. I saw you literally. I literally felt sorry for you because obviously you had nobody, and he didn't. But now we see that he has some level of respect for Sean because he sees that Sean's a good person and that Sean is trying to do all he can to help him. But then he's saying that, look, right now my money's drying up. You know, I need to get some clients or whatever because, you know, I need to make things happen." Because at first, he was kind of like asking Sean, "Where the hell were you been?" Because Sean came in, and he was like, "Where the hell have you been, Sean?" And Sean was like, "Look, I've been out. Like, look, I don't need you to be, you know, because we know that Clint's controlling as hell. And we know that right now, Sean is like the only person that he's interacting with. But then he's saying that, look, we need to figure something out because money's drying up, and you staying here, and you know we need to figure out something." But then Clint's like, "Look, I got a plan, but once my plan works out, you're gonna be good. I got you." But then Sean was like, "Well, yeah, that's easier said than done. And besides, you know, you need to get up and really do something with yourself or whatever, and because, you know, I'm taking care of you and everything like that, and I need help." And he's like, "Look, once everything works itself out, I got you. You ain't got nothing to worry about." Then we see that the two of them are still fucking. And I'm like, yeah, so it seemed to me that, yeah, even though after all that situation went down between you and Kiko, but then again, I'm like, okay, it's cabin fever. Y'all both stuck in the room together. You know, sometimes, you know, the feelings get into the air and you end up fucking each other. It happens. But y'all ain't hear that from me. But anyway, it happens though. So yeah, we kind of see that going on, and then we also see that they do have this exchange about Kiko, because, like, you know, Clint admits that he did have money stashed away, but then his damn sister spent, you know, she pretty much took all of this shit, and he was like, and he started laughing. He's like, that sounds like something Kiko would do. And then here we go with the bullshit. His name is Keith. I'm like, he and like that damn Sean is like, you know what? You really need to deal with that shit. Because he says, regardless of how you may feel, Kiko and I had a connection. I loved her and she loved me. But I fucked it up. And I realized I really don't know what I want. So here it is. I built a relationship with Kiko, but yet I was still seeking something outside of that relationship because I don't know what I really want. Because he said what I had with Kiko was real love. So I was like, he kind of, you know, we saw that Clint was kind of listening in on it. Like, okay, I see where you're going with this. But he said that, yeah, I really don't know what I want. But he's saying that, look, I really don't want to be doing this shit forever. But at the end of the day, we got to get money. So I got to do what I got to do. I got to, you know, find me some tricks to do what I got to do or whatever. I mean, so we see that after they have sex, he gets a text that he got a client. He's about to go leave or whatever. And he was like, and Clint was like, man, you ain't got to do all that, man. Just stay here. You can let that go. Just that one client. He's like, yeah. And that one client going to help feed us unless you're going to get up off your ass and do something. I got to do what I got to do. And of course, Clint was like, yo, you better watch how the fuck you talking to me, son. Don't forget who I am. He's like, yeah. And don't you forget that I ain't your fucking child and you can't talk to me any kind of way. And besides, we're friends, remember? I was like, okay, Sean, I'm seeing you. I'm like, yeah, I'm loving this different change of dynamic in their relationship. Like, he's no longer trying to punk Sean. He actually has he's actually grown fond of Sean. And he knows that Sean is one person that really is trying to help him. So we're gonna see how that's gonna play out down the line. But we see that happened a month before Clint went to therapy. That was, and then while Clint's in therapy, we see that Sean has a client. And guess who the fuck it is? That crazy motherfucker Daniel. I thought he was dead. I mean, because the last time I saw him, Victoria and, Jesus went to go handle his ass. So I thought that he was swimming with the fishes. Come to find out, he got a patch on the eye, giving me Popeye the Sailor Man tease. So pretty much I'm gonna start calling Daniel Popeye, because that's exactly what he was given. But his crazy ass, has seeked out Sean just like he did with Jacob, aka Derek. And they in the basement, and Sean's like, why the hell are we in the basement? He's like, oh, you think we're gonna fornicate in my mother's house, in her room? No. He's like, well, mother is on the way on a church event. So it was just creepy as shit, because it's like he is so controlled by religion, and he's pretty much, the reason why I think he's crazy is because he can't be out. He's closeted, and he's living this, secret gay lifestyle under the nose of his own mom. So then, so pretty much he was saying, so what you want to do? He's like, well, let's take our time. Let's talk. How are you? I'm like, and then all of a sudden, Sean was kind of like, well, okay, yeah, let's do this. And he's like, no, don't you rush me. Don't try to do the same shit to me that Jacob did. And I'm like, this crazy son of a bitch. And so I was just like, yo, this shit is crazy as hell. Because it's like, wow, out of all the damn motherfuckers, you had to find Daniel's ass. And he pretty much saying that, no, I'm not going to be like Jacob. I'm here for you. I'm here to do whatever you want me to do, baby. Sean is selling it, even though Sean in the back of his mind like, this creepy motherfucker is on some bullshit. But hey, he paying me, so I gotta do this shit. But if I had an option, I would leave this motherfucker right here, because he was doing entirely too much. Then he was like, okay, so then, he's saying that, I like you, Sean. You want to make me to be a better man. Did you read your Bible? He was like, yeah, I did. He's like, good. Because regardless, we are special. And God loves us no matter what. So let's pray. He's like, I pray for my mommy, and that you protect Jacob, and that thank him for protecting me from his evil mother, and I ask that you get vengeance, eye for an eye. I'm like, oh, so that's what the fuck happened. She took your eye out. You took I was like, oh shit. Like, she took your eye out. She took your eye out. I was like, damn. Oh, y'all know where I got that from. But I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy as hell. So then he's like doing all this shit, and then all of a sudden he after he finished praying, he's like, okay, now I want you to fuck me and take no mercy on me. So Sean is literally throwing the dick on Daniel. And tell me why the whole time he's fucking Daniel is singing a damn hymn, talking about have mercy on us. I'm like, this crazy son of a bitch. And then afterwards, this motherfucker didn't even pay Sean all his money. And he was like, maybe next. He's like, man, I really love that prostrate exercise, huh? Well, here's your money. And he's like, yo. And then he was like saying that, hey, maybe next time we can go bareback. He's like, man, you ain't got enough money for bareback. But then he was like, yo, this shit's short, bruh. What's going on? He's like, oh, well, I thank you for your services, but I'll pay you double the next time. And he's like, yo, the reason why I took your ass is because I hear that you a big spender, and but lately, the times I've been with you, you were short the last damn time, and now you short again. Like, dude, I ain't no fucking sucker. Give me my fucking money. And he's like, look, you don't have to act that way, Sean. Times have just been rough. Mother hasn't been giving me the allowance that she usually gives me. I'm like, this boy is tripping. But yo, shout out to Adam Davenport, young. He be playing the hell out of Daniel. So I got tickled the fact that Daniel's back with his crazy simple ass. Woo! And if anything, Sean was like, you know what? If you want to keep your other eye, nigga, you better come with my money. And then he's like, hey, I pay you. I'm your boss. Get back here. I was like, oh my God. But yes. So Daniel's ass, I think, now that his ass is still alive, and if he runs into Derek, aka Jacob, or the DeLucas, it's gonna be a fucking issue. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen now that damn Daniel is back on the scene. So that's what I have, y'all. If I miss anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But first off, subscribe to brtbtv.com. If you have not done so, click that link in the description box and subscribe today. And also check out the Triangle Fan Club on Facebook. You get everything BRTB-TV, as well as interactions from the fans, cast, and crew, as well as updates from the creator, Caesar Williams. So yes, BRTBTV.com, Triangle Fan Club. Get into it. Also, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social networks that are listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Dark Horse. Man, I am so here for Dark Horse. Y'all have no idea. I am really loving, that Dark Horse is back. And I can't wait to see what happens next, y'all. So until next time, everybody, take care.